Hello, gremlins! This isn't the video I was planning to make this week, but the video I was working on is taking longer than expected, so I've pushed it to next weekend. Because I've already spent several days on the drawing for next week, I needed something fairly easy to get something done in time for this weekend. Today, I'll be drawing a character based on dice rolls, using my regular chart, link in the description. I rolled a 15 first, so this character will be a Dryad. Next, I rolled a 10, so the Dryad will have illusion magic. I rolled a 5 for the animal companion, so she'll have a capybara as a companion. This is the second time I've drawn a capybara for these videos. The first dice roll-based character I drew also had a capybara companion. Shout out to my friend who told me to put capybara on the chart. This time, the capybara will have wings, because I rolled a 19. Finally, I rolled a 9, so the Dryad will have a sword staff as a weapon. I rolled these dice the day before I started drawing, so I had a night to figure out how I was going to compose the image. I decided that the Dryad will be sitting in a tree, relaxed and creating illusions to entertain her capybara, the sword staff just leaning against the tree unused. At first, I was going to give the capybara feathered wings, just because that's the first thing I thought of. Then I realized that fairy wings would work so much better for a drawing of a Dryad and magical butterflies. The butterflies are illusions, which the Dryad is making just for fun. To make said Dryad look like a Dryad, not just an elf or fairy, I gave them antlers that are small tree branches with leaves sprouting from each twig. I really like giving Dryads this feature. I've done it a few times in other non-YouTube art. I also gave the Dryad a flower crown that's crooked on their head, and very pointed ears. She's wearing a tunic embroidered with golden vines and lots of gold jewelry. They have a curling vine armband, gold leaf earrings, and a gold ankle bangle. She also has leather braces on their arms, and a thin leather belt. Generally, her outfit is meant to be vaguely fantasy and nature-inspired. Fancy, but also easy to move in for tree climbing. The color scheme is green, gold, and brown, the colors of the forest. Her hair is shaved at the side and long and poofy on top. It's also the same color as the leaves of the tree. Their skin is also the same shade of brown as the bark on the tree, although by the time I'm finished shading the background they might end up a bit different. I finished the base colors of the Dryad, then moved on to coloring the capybara. He has large green fairy wings, which I shaded with yellow edges. The capybara himself is pale brown. The Dryad's illusion magic has pale green outlines, and the edges of the conjured butterflies are scattering into the air. The butterflies are all colorful, but the edges glow green, showing that they are magic and insubstantial. The colors of the butterflies match the colors in the flower crown, dark and light pink, orange, and red. Once again, I have given myself an excuse to shade a bunch of gold. The gold armband was the most complicated piece to shade, because of all the leaves, and the funnest part to shade was the shiny metallic embroidery on the tunic. When I'd finished the basic shading on the Dryad, I decided to make things a bit more fantastical by giving her skin the texture of bark. After all, they're the humanoid spirit of a tree. It makes sense that they would have more wooden or bark elements than just branch antlers. I then moved on to shading the capybara, which was quick and simple with a fur-textured brush. I then started adding light effects and shading the background. There's golden dappled light on the Dryad's arms, legs, and head, and the capybara's back. The tree the Dryad is perched in and bonded to is very textured with deep grooves and knots in its bark. There are shadows cast from the Dryad's body and their sword staff. I then textured the background trees before making them blurry, fading into the distance. Finally, I added some golden light highlighting the Dryad's face and upper body, and some shadows around the bottom of the frame. This week's video is a lot shorter than normal, and I'm sorry about that. Making it was a bit rushed since I was hoping to finish a different video in time for this weekend. I've also had a bit of a low energy week, so this video was a bit of a struggle. I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and this art is now on Etsy if you did. I will no longer be posting my finished art on Instagram due to the fear of it being scraped for AI programs by Meta. I don't really know how to respond to this change to Instagram, so for now I'm just avoiding the app. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next week for a more high effort project. Until then, bye!